This is Brian on BMAD Photo with some awesome tips for how to pack and organize your equipment when you're like me and you like to take a lot of stuff with you as carry-on. This is about getting through the check-in counter without having to worry about the carry-on luggage limits for your specific airline.
Tropical vacation. You know me, I love cameras and lenses and video gear, computers, laptops, tablets, and it's always a challenge to kind of juggle all of that and figure out what I can actually take in my carry-on and fit for the trip. I'm curious what your strategies and tips are also for getting, your carry-on stuff through and onto the plane without running into weight restrictions or limits. Do you limit what you carry? Do you risk it and put stuff in the checked luggage? Do you load up your pockets and wear a lot of layers? Let me know in the comments. I'd be very curious, and right now I'm going to share strategies and tips and how I ended up packing for this trip to the Philippines. First of all, don't roll up with your biggest, largest, bulkiest, max size cabin luggage. Taking a laptop bag that collapses pretty small and does not look very heavy. Additionally, when you go to the counter, you can just kind of keep wearing your backpack on your back, and half the times they will not even weigh your backpack. And so you want to keep that as light as possible. They don't count anything that you carry on your person. First of all, I wear this sling bag, and I have never had this count as a third item because it is tiny. It's almost like a purse. It's a man bag, it's a man purse, whatever, but it will generally not be counted just because it is so tiny. I am also going to have the Osmo Pocket 3 in there. That's a great bag for the Osmo Pocket 3. And my Ricoh GR3X, I have a belt clip for it, so that will be clipped on my belt. They specifically say they do not count against your weight any cameras that you're carrying, as long as they're small cameras. And the Ricoh GR3X and the Pocket 3 are definitely small and compact. All right, tip 3 is minimize your electronics. Don't take every lens, and you know this is a hard one for me, right? But figure out what lenses do you really need for a trip and try to travel light. So I am not, you'll notice, bringing the heavy backpack for all my lenses and gear. And I might not even bring the Peak Design sling bag, but I do want to do some macro photography while I'm there. So I'm bringing the small flash, not the Godox V1. And I'm not bringing a lot of my other lenses that I love, just because I'm going to rely on using the Ricoh GR3X for most photography and travel minimalistic and light, but still be able to do a little bit of macro photography while I'm there. You know, you can also dual purpose your lens. Don't think you need to bring one lens for everything you'll run into. The macro lens, that can double as a street photography lens. It's a little bit telephoto, but it is kind of fun to sometimes use on the street and also do portraits with. Do you really need 2 laptops, a tablet, and an ebook reader, and a phone? Depending on what you're traveling for and how long you're traveling, if you're going to be mixing business and pleasure, or maybe you're going on a work trip and you have to bring a work laptop, don't check it into the checked luggage. So you're going to have to carry that. And whatever the size of that laptop is, you just got to, unfortunately, subtract that from your overall allowance. I do have a small MacBook Air that doesn't weigh a lot. It honestly does not weigh much more than my tablet. So the trade-off between the tablet and the MacBook Air, I'll just take the MacBook Air every time. Finally, the ebook reader, I take that with me everywhere. It's so light, and it also works really well in the bright sunshine. All right, so now that I've shared those tips, I'm going to try to condense all of this stuff into my bags. So let's do this right now. I think in here I can put the 90mm. And also the EM5 Mark III. So instead of bringing the 75-300, which is heavy, and I am not bringing my favorite lens, and instead I'm just going to bring this cheap budget lens. This is the 40-150, and this weighs almost nothing. Pro tip number 4, once you get past the check-in counter and you're at your gate, you can reshuffle and repack all your stuff. So again, this is about optimally packing to get through luggage weight checkpoints. When I get to the gate, I'm going to reshuffle and make things
Very simple. Most stuff will actually go into my laptop bag at that point because I have a lot of space in there. And so then in my carry bag, I will probably just shuffle and put just the pocket 3 in there. All right, and as promised, what is that bonus tip? That is, utilize your checked-in luggage to carry all the crap that you don't have to bring in the cabin. But what can you put in your luggage? Well, what I have in there, I have my harness for the GoPro, extra cables, straps, mounting brackets, a small travel tripod. Unless it's something super valuable that you're worried about, don't worry about putting it in your checked luggage. Generally, that is the way to bring all the extra doodads, bits and bobs, and connectors, and wires, and cables, and chargers, etc. It's all stuff that's replaceable, so you don't have to worry if it were to get lost. Most places that you travel, you can always, in a pinch, get whatever you might need, charging cables. But put most of that stuff in your checked luggage if you're nearing the limit of the cabin weight limit, and you will be good for your trip. So thanks for joining me. This is Brian, Be Mad Photo. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and we will see you on the other side of the world very soon.